Hello, and welcome to Keep Your Thrive Alive. I'm Mark Mulligan, and this is the space where I share inspiration, tips, and techniques to help boost your mood, your energy, and your well-being. Today, I'm delighted to be working with one of my favorite clients, and what it is that I love about working with them is that they really care about their people and helping them to be healthier, happier, and more fulfilled. The theme of the day is how it is that you can break unhealthy habits and how it is that you can create healthy new ones. And we're going to be doing this under the banner of turning it from Mission Impossible to Mission Possible. So what it is that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be channeling my Tom Cruise. Wish me luck. Hello, London. Happy New Year, BPS. You could do better than that. Happy New Year, BPS. So my name is Mark Mulligan. I'm the Thrive guy. I'm delighted to be back here today. You might find it unusual to be talking about New Year's, but if I could ask you to indulge me and travel back in time. So imagine that you go back in time to 31st of December, and it's just before midnight. Can you remember where you were, who you were with, what you were doing? Can you remember what you were wearing, what you were eating, how much you had to drink? So imagine that we're there now. So can I invite you to do that countdown together? So come to your feet, but can we just do this countdown together where we go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hug the person beside you, appropriately. So now I'd like to ask you to fast forward to the next morning. How are you feeling? Maybe you're a little bit hungover. If you're anything like me, then you're feeling a little bit fat, a little bit feckless, and a little bit fatigued with the whole Christmas thing, and looking forward to getting back into a routine. This is the time of year when people begin to think about New Year's resolutions. So typically when people set a New Year's resolution, only 8% of them actually stick to it. Of the people who sign up to a gym in January, 60% of them never go at all. So the intention of the session today is how we can turn Mission Impossible into Mission Possible for you. How does that sound? Good. So when I was in India, I was in Pune for a month, and I decided to get seriously fit. I was queuing up at a chemist one day, and I met this guy. And he started talking to me about going to the gym. He could bench press 160 kilos, which I think is pretty impressive. Then he said to me something that I will never forget. He said, "You know, Mark, you can't store fitness." And it's so true. Whether it's mental fitness or physical fitness, you can't store it. It's not a destination, it's a lifetime journey. And the thing about fitness is that it doesn't just happen. It's the results of our behaviors. Covey, who wrote the book The Habits of Highly Successful People, says that our habits either make us or they break us, that we become what we continually or repeatedly do. But forming new habits is not easy, and it's particularly difficult if you're an itinerant worker. You know, all the traveling you have to do, the lack of routine, those boundaries between work and home life make it so much more challenging. So my intention is to help you find some simple strategies to get you there more of the time. What it is that I'm going to be sharing with you is a model that's been developed by a woman called Gretchen Rubin that classifies people into different types to give you some self-awareness that might be helpful for you in changing your behaviors. But awareness is only part of the problem. So in order to find a solution, we also need to have some strategies about how it is that we're actually going to do this. So you're going to be looking at how it is that you can use this awareness practically, but also how it is that you set up your environment for success. And the intention is that you come away from today with some benefits. So it's really important for me that even though we only have 12 minutes, that you get some personal benefit from this session. So you're looking at one thing that you'll either start doing or one thing that you will stop doing that'll help you be healthier, happier, and more fulfilled. Does that sound good? One more time, does that sound good? Thank you very much. So starting with the what. So there's 4 different types of people. according to Gretchen Rubin's model. The first is an upholder. So upholders are people who have no problem adhering to other people's expectations or their own. If they say that they will do something, then they follow through. I'm an upholder. If I say I'll do something, then I will do it. My husband teases me and says, you know, unless it's on the spreadsheet, then he's not going to do it. However, the flip side of that is that if something's not on the spreadsheet, even if it's something that's good for me, then I don't tend to do it. Next, you have questioners. Questioners are people who really need to prove to them analytically that what they're going to do will make a difference. So they'll do lots of research beforehand, and they'll want to have proof to validate that what they're doing is actually correct. Then we have obligers. So obligers are people who respond well to the expectations of other people, but are very bad at setting their own expectations. The sort of person who doesn't attend to their own oxygen mask. And then finally, we have rebels. Well, if you're a rebel, then good luck, because it's extra difficult to change your behavior, because you don't adhere to anybody else's expectations or your own. Nothing that anybody can say or prove will make you change your behavior. However, you're very tuned into how it feels. So if you feel there's a benefit for you, then you're much more likely to change your behavior. How is it that you're going to do this? Well, pay attention to the type of person that you are and use a strategy that fits the type that you are. If you're an upholder, write it down. You know, it's simple as stick it in your diary, because that's a reminder, and then you will do it. If you're a questioner, then have proof that it's actually working for you. Do the analysis, track it, put it on a spreadsheet, and even today, there are lots of apps to help this be much more easy for you to do. If you're an obliger, commit to somebody else that you're going to do it, or even better, agree that you're going to do it with them. And if you're a rebel, then be mindful. Really reflect on how does it feel? How does this help me feel better in terms of my mood, my energy, and my well-being? So let's look about how it is you can influence your environment. So make it easy for yourself by making the good habits convenient. So imagine you wanted to eat more healthily. The one guy I was coaching, his strategy was changing from big oversized plates to a normal sized plate. And over a year, he managed to lose 2 stone as a result. Maybe it's having some healthy snacks in the car when you're traveling, so that you have something that you can snack on when you feel those cravings. Maybe it's having a standard food delivery on your internet shopping of healthy things, so that you always have healthy stuff in the house. And then make the unhealthy habits, you know, inconvenient for you. So many people that I speak to say it's so hard, especially when you're an itinerant worker, with the blurred lines between work and home. Have some simple rules for yourself. One might be, don't bring your phone or your laptop into the bedroom. The bedroom is designed for 2 things. Both of them begin with S, and one of them is not spreadsheets, much as I love them. Also, you might do something like just have one designated place in your house, which is the place where you work, and then don't work anywhere else in the house, so you have that clear boundary for yourself. A third strategy is safeguarding against temptation. Both NA and AA have a phrase to help people with their addictions. The phrase is, stay away from the people, the places, the things that trigger you. So even if you don't have an addiction, it's just a habit that you want to break, you can use this simple philosophy. So, you know, if you've got friends that really love to party, don't meet up with them on a school night. Meet up with them on the weekend. You know, if you've got problems with your phone and the stuff that you're accessing on your phone, put some parental controls around it so that it actually sort of safeguards. So let's finish up thinking about what it is that you're going to do. And I want to set you up for success here. So I'd like to invite you to think, what's the simplest thing that you could do that would make the biggest difference for you personally? If you've already done the Thrive program, then you'll be familiar with the BJ Fogg behavioral change model. This model is very simple. He says, choose something that's easy to do because motivation is in short supply, especially when you're stressed or when you're tired. But where the genius in this model is that he says, have some sort of trigger or reminder, a behavior that you already do, to remind you to do this new behavior. So quite simply, I'd like to invite you to think about one thing that will give you the greatest benefit for the least amount of energy and effort, and think of a trigger to remind you to do it. I'd also like you to imagine how it will feel. So teleport forward into the future now, and create a future memory of how it will feel when you've actually done this. And then finally, commit to one person. You know, who's the person that if you committed to, you're most likely to do this? So it's been a pleasure to spend these 12 minutes with you, and I hope that you found it useful by setting new habits. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And in the meantime, be well and thrive. Thank you. I'm really curious what it is that you found most useful about that video. Which type are you? How is it that you can change your environment to set yourself up for success? How is it that you can safeguard so that it's more likely that you're not going to do the things that actually sabotage you? I'd be really interested to hear what you think and to hear your ideas. So I look forward to seeing you soon, and in the meantime, be well and thrive.